Very good afternoon and welcome to Europe News presented by Desi Teacher in Europe. These are the headlines for today. Turkey is agreed for Sweden and Finland to join the NATO alliance. If Putin was a woman, he would not have started a war, said by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The Energy Authority of Helsinki have planned to construct a 400 million euro tunnel to utilize seawater for heating homes. Heat waves are continued in Europe. The Snake Island is returned to Ukraine after the Russians withdraw. And the topic of discussion today, what is NASA's time machine? The James Webb Telescope. Let's go to the details of these news. So Turkey has agreed for Sweden and Finland to join the NATO alliance. If you remember my very first opinion about the process of Finland and Sweden joining NATO, I always used to say that no one can stop both countries from joining NATO. Now you all are witness to watch this. For Sweden and Finland to join the NATO alliance, the route has been made clear. The NATO alliance will now be expanding at its fastest rate in the last 10 years. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, is thought to have stoked significant antagonism by taunting NATO in this circumstance. Now Russia's two other neighbors, who had previously been neutral, will also join its hostile alliance. Announcement was made at NATO summit just a day after removing Turkey's objection. This is a big blow for Putin. The agreement's specifics were revealed by NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, who said that as NATO friends, Finland and Sweden are willing to fully help Turkey for their national security. They will designate the Kurdistan Workers' Party or PKK as a terrorist organization operating in Turkey as a result of altering their internal legislation. PKK calls for the creation of a separate Kurdish state inside Turkish territory. According to the Secretary General of NATO, we will continue to sign up new nations as long as Russian aggression will be in the region. Proclamation was also made by the heads of state who gathered in Spain. It once more denounced Russia's invasion of Ukraine and declared that NATO will greatly boost its dedication to defending against and opposing Russia's aggression. Sauli Niinisto, the president of Finland, stated that three nations signed the agreement to offer their full support against threats to each other's security, while Magdalena Andersson, the Prime Minister of Sweden, described it as a really important step for NATO. The office of President Erdogan claimed we got what it was desired. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said that coalition was facing the most serious security crisis challenge since World War II, but US President Joe Biden, who provided the coalition with a large military share, said that the summit would send a strong message that NATO is strong and united. Joe Biden also congratulated to three countries. In his words, I congratulate Turkey, Finland, and Sweden as signing a trilateral memorandum, Biden said in a statement. This prepares the way for allies to invite Finland and Sweden to join NATO at the Madrid summit. So Sweden will end more than 200 years of non-alignment by joining NATO, and Finland would also shift from being neutral to part of military alliance. If you ask me, I'm personally very happy because all countries have a right to strengthen their borders and secure their people. Congratulations to both Finland and Sweden. Other news. So if Putin was a woman, he would not have started a war, said by British Prime Minister Boris. Russian President Vladimir Putin, according to British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, would not have begun a furious and forced war if he was a woman. In an interview with local German media, after the G7 conference, Johnson said that one of the main causes of Russia-Ukraine war is Putin's intention of showing power and force. He urged more women to hold positions of leadership as a step toward achieving world peace. Another good news from Finland. The Energy Authority of Helsinki have planned to construct 400 million euro tunnel to utilize seawater for heating homes. The construction of 400 million euro tunnel system that enables the use of seawater in district heat production has advanced thanks to Helen, the Energy Authority of City of Helsinki. The project's alliance partners were announced by Helen on Wednesday. The Spanish company Acciona and the Finnish company YIT will be the project partners. According to Helen, the group will develop a strategy for transferring heat from seawater to heat pumps that will be installed at its plant in Salmisaari, a district of Ruoholahti, over the course of next 2 years. Another news, heat waves are continued in Europe. In many nations, the severe heat wave has caused temperatures to surge much beyond the June average temperature. On Wednesday, Norway recorded a temperature of 33 degrees Celsius, which is much higher than the average June temperature of 13.5 degrees Celsius, and is supposedly the hottest temperature ever recorded in Europe inside the Arctic Circle. On Monday, Poland experienced mid 30 degrees temperature, and areas of eastern Germany saw many sites exceed 37 degrees Celsius. And in Finland itself, the temperature was around 30 degrees Celsius in most. Another news from Russia-Ukraine conflicts. Snake Island is returned to Ukraine after the Russians withdraw. The Russian army announced on Thursday that it has left Snake Island, a crucial fortified Moscow location in the Black Sea that had recently come under Ukrainian bombardment. The action, according to Moscow Defense Ministry, was a symbol of goodwill and was intended to speed up grain exports. The Russians were reportedly forced to leave the island in two speedboats by a barrage of Ukrainian artillery and missile strikes, according to the military of Ukraine. The little island became famous when, in response to Russian request that they surrender, a member of a small Ukrainian army guarding it used an expletive on the first day of Russian onslaught. Okay, so finally, the topic of discussion today is, what is NASA's time machine, the James Webb Telescope? The most potent telescope ever built, James Webb, by the US space agency NASA, will shortly reveal the deepest picture ever of space. The image will be released next month, according to space agency's announcement. This photograph will be taken by the $10 billion James Webb Telescope, which is situated at an altitude of 1.2 million kilometers immediately beyond the Earth when viewed from the Sun. Bill Nelson, the administrator of NASA, stated on Wednesday that it would be out of humankind's current field of vision. He told, "We are starting to realize that the Webb can do and what it will accomplish. James is prepared in 20 years. It will go back in time, perhaps to the moments immediately following the Big Bang, and answer some important riddles, such as how and when human existence began." Nelson announced, "We are going to gather historic data. These images will be based on 120-hour observation period spread across 5 days." So science is growing day by day, and Europe news is also growing day by day. So that is all from the Europe news presented by Desi Teacher in Europe. I hope you have received all the information what is required until today. Thank you very much for watching Europe news presented by Desi Teacher in Europe. Have a good day.